Macedonia in English. Just about everything you want to know.
Commissioner Füle visits Skopje for high-level accession dialogue. It is very important that all political forces remain committed to the European integration and do not make it hostage of their political competition, because that only harms this country and its people. EU Enlargement Commissioner Stefan Füle said at a joint press conference with PM Nikola Gruevski, following the fourth high-level association dialogue HLAD in Skopje. After the weeks marked by the political crisis, we could at least focus on HLAD agenda. Since our last meeting in September, significant work has been undertaken and progress made on some important issues. But, as we agreed, despite the success, the work continues and much more remains to be done, he added. According to him, the March 1st agreement, which solved the political crisis, is being implemented, but not fully. Politicians have credited the crisis and they have political responsibility to overcome its effects by implementing this agreement. They haven't done so yet, at least not fully, Füle stated. More name issue talks expected soon, says UN mediator Nimitz. The next round of name issue talks is expected within 2 months, UN mediator Matthew Nimitz said after the meeting with representatives of both sides, where he laid out a new proposal. I am very hopeful that both sides will find positive ingredients in this proposal, and hopefully it can pave the way of serious discussions and hopefully a solution, he said. Without giving any details, Nimitz stated that the new proposal is concrete and refined based on the issues, objections and problems both sides presented last time. Hopefully, we get a little closer to some solutions here, he added. The UN mediator noted that he hopes both sides really study the new formulation and focus on a solution. Serbian PM on US stance of territory exchange. Serbian PM Ivica Dačić told German newspaper Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung that the US will not allow exchange of territories between Kosovo and Serbia because it fears it will result in a war in Macedonia. Asked whether Belgrade and Pristina could basically agree on exchange of territories, Kosovo's north of Serbia's south, Dačić said yes, I think the Serbs and Albanians could easily agree on exchange of territories. However, that is unacceptable for Washington. The people there think it will lead to a war in Macedonia, Dačić told the newspaper. However, he described the assessment of the US as wrong. Why would Macedonia be endangered by such a solution? The biggest threat to Macedonia was created by the Macedonian government itself, because it broke the law and unilaterally recognized Kosovo's independence, Dačić added. COE Human Rights Commissioner Mužniek's report on Macedonia. A new report published Monday by the COE Commissioner of Human Rights, Nils Mužniek, highlights concerns about interethnic divisions in the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia. Nils Mužniek visited the country last year. In his report, the Commissioner writes that depolitication along party lines and political patronage undermine social cohesion. Mužniek is also worried about the country's system of education. Ethnic Macedonian and ethnic Albanian students have very few chances to interact and are thus deprived of the possibility to learn about and form one another, he declared. Children and young persons should not be hostage to zero-sum debates on community rights. The Commissioner urges the Skopje authorities to resolve the human rights issues related to 2001 conflict, which ended after the signing of the Ohrid Framework Agreement. No translation into Macedonia at Macedonian Railways Jubilee celebration. Tuesday's press conference on the occasion of the 140th anniversary of PE Macedonian Railways infrastructure proceeded without translation from Albanian into Macedonian during the speech of Kosovo Railways Director Agron Tači. MZ Infrastructure Manager Irfan Asani urged journalists to bring translators with themselves as this was not part of his competence. The journalist reacted that Asani is a manager of a state enterprise and it was a matter of international event which requires official translation. According to him, the law was observed with the fact that his statement was in Macedonian.